GenderBlenders, welcome to week 81, and this week's topic is, what was the latest movie, book, music album you bought? Has your taste changed due to your transition? And I have to admit to being guilty for this week's video. This is Steffi, and the inspiration for this week's video came from music, naturally. And I was listening to Shay's commentary on CBGB and what the meaning of her t-shirt was, a couple weeks back. And you folks know I'm originally from Pittsburgh, right? And when I graduated from college, I could have gone west. I could have gone east. I could have stayed around the Pittsburgh area. I chose to move west. I actually moved to Chicago for a little while and then gravitated towards the West Coast. But there's much more culture back east. And I sometimes miss that. I mean, like there's houses from the 1600s. Out here there is no such concept. It's just too new. So consequently there's a lot less culture as well. New York City. There's nothing like New York City. A while back I went to Boston, MIT, for a artificial intelligence meeting a while back. Quite a while back now. I was always amazed by the amount of heritage and culture that was there. Anyway, I decided to get some t-shirts and a DVD from CBGB, so that's the reason for the t-shirt that you see, to kind of support that culture. And I also got a DVD, Punk from the Bowery, and that was the absolute latest music or video that I got, because I just got it a couple of days ago. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, something that would have frankly been quite impossible for me 2 years ago. I just would not have enjoyed that music at all. You see, I needed music to calm me down, relax me, lower my blood pressure, help me to relax and keep whatever level of, sanity's not quite the right word, but physical prowess that I had. And that's all in the past now. So consequently, I can enjoy a much wider range. So has my taste changed due to my transition? Yes, very much so. I enjoy many of the same things that I used to before. So what are the next latest 2 albums that I got? I've gotten several recently. And one of them is Super Chick. And I absolutely love that group. Again, something I didn't know about a couple years ago. And this is reinvention. I think I got it the first day that it went on sale. And I also got the remainder of the Super Chick albums. I like them. Again, that's something probably I wouldn't have enjoyed a couple years ago. The last music album I got recently is Dave Bennett Celebrates 100 Years of Benny Goodman. And I got it specifically for at least one song that was on there, Sing, 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 a very famous swing instrumental. And I absolutely love that, have loved that kind of music for years. My taste has not changed in that whatsoever. It's just widened. I haven't lost any taste. Well, some people might say that, but I haven't. So in the music scene, my taste just simply widened a lot. And I now enjoy many things that I could not have done a couple years ago. And that's just wonderful. Books. I love to read. I'm one of those weirdos that just absolutely just loves to read. So I do it all the time. So what's my most recent books? Well, the most recent is the HarperCollins Study Bible. You folks know I'm into that, so I got a study Bible from the local Christian bookstore, and it's one of about 10, 15 Bibles I own, but I love it. And we're currently, I'm preparing a series on Isaiah, which is the next one that I will do as a function of my church. So I got that. However, that hasn't changed in years and years and years. One of the things that I got several months ago now is Sunborn by Jeff Carver. And that's the fourth of the Chaos Chronicle books. And it's a very interesting science fiction book. I love science fiction. I've loved science fiction my entire life. And that hasn't changed. However, interestingly enough, the main character in here is a guy by the name of John Bandicott. Everybody identifies with John Bandicott. He's the hero. Except when I read this time, and I started to identify with Antares, who is a female, a humanoid female, not human, but humanoid female. She happens to have 4 sets of breasts. But she's human enough, and her reactions are human enough. And doggone it, I was identifying with her in this book. So I went back and reread the first 3 of the Chronicles, and lo and behold, I did on those too. That's changed. And I think that's kind of cool as well. So that's very interesting. Because of that, now the other set of books that I owned before was this Venus Prime, which was actually written by Paul Preuss under Arthur C. Clarke's auspices. Everybody knows Arthur Clarke. Again, science fiction. The heroine is the lady, and I, of course, identified with her, and I went back and reread the 4 that I got, and my understanding of that book changed so much, I had to go search out and get volumes 5 and 6, which are no longer in print and I did not own, but I found them and got them, and thoroughly enjoyed them. But that changed, or my interpretation changed. Very interesting as well. So I find that amusing. So my taste in books has widened to some extent, or it's changed to some extent, but I haven't lost any of the things that I used to have. Movies. Well, the CBGB Punk from the Bowery thing classifies as a movie. It's a movie video. And I enjoyed that as well, but the latest movie I saw was Toy Story 3. And I have to frankly admit I cried during Toy Story 3. It was quite sad to me. Probably much more so than I would have in my previous incarnation. My emotions are now out. And they never were as a guy. Even though I do know guys are supposed to have emotions to some extent. I never did. And that was different about me. Or rather, I either unconsciously or couldn't express them because my brain and my body were really basically disconnected. So I find that's changed because it's augmented. So I'm now much more emotional as a girl, and I like it. I enjoy it. So my taste hasn't changed. I would have enjoyed Toy Story 3. I enjoyed Toy Story 2. I enjoyed Toy Story, the original. I like all of those things. Anyway, so that's my take on this week's Gender Blenders. This is Steffi saying, until next week, saying bye-bye, dear.